going on, Jerome's? Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Halftime show. Well, 2 minutes left in the first half. Vikings-Niners. Barn burner at historic US Bank Stadium. But first off, knocking on all the wood. Prayers and good vibes for Anjibu Jr., the rookie cornerback out of Clemson. Went down with a scary-looking non-contact injury. Was in and out of the medical tent. Limped back to the sideline. So it's not good. It's no bueno. It's things that you hate to see during preseason. Slinging Sean Mannion, ISM, down to the 3. Baby, where you do have to admit, Sean Mannion has looked good this game. And I do understand where Kevin O'Connell's coming from, where the Vikings are coming from, about having the safe veteran like Sean Mannion as a quarterback too. Where Kellen Mond, he's too high variance right now. Like does have a decently high ceiling, but we see the floor too much. We saw it with this game where the first 3 throws, you're like, oh, here we go again. What's my weakness, Kellen Mond? In the preseason, and then maybe not so much. Now, yes, the second team offensive line that started the game, get in, touchdown, right? Yeah, he's in. Ty Chandler. That's right, baby. Ty Chandler getting all in there. Brian Kobeck had himself a good run too. But so Kellen Mond, his actually we're gonna bring this up. Kellen Mond, his first 3 throws phenomenal. After that. Maybe not so much. And this is what we've been doing on the halftime show, our working list of winners and losers for the post-game show. But yeah, Kellen Mond, 6 of 10 for 43 yards through a really bad interception. Now, you could say that his pass protection has not been great, and also it is important to note that you do have Javon Kinlaw, former first-round pick. You do have Charles Omenihu, former Houston Texan. Like, their 2 guys are going to start for the Niners defense. So some of the Niners, they're sprinkling in a couple first-team guys. But the second-team offensive line, you got to bring it, especially with Ed Ingram. It's no bueno. Now. But let's see here. So winners, losers. All right, so T.Y. McGill coming in off of his 2-sack performance against the Raiders, getting a sack and a half in the first half. He looks good, where he's one of those sawed-off nose tackles that can still get a decent shimmy, still get a decent pass rush. And I think that he has cemented his spot on the 53. I think that he will be a very solid understudy for Harrison Phillips. And I think that they mentioned on the telecast, he's been on 8 teams in 8 seasons, 29 years young, hasn't found his place in the league, but now he may have found himself a home as the Vikings backup nose tackle. BC Johnson. BC looked good in a handful of plays in this first half. Let's see, BC 3 for 29, including that 16-yard third down conversion from Kellen Mond. That was peak. That was peak oil for Kellen Mond. It was just kind of all downhill from there. Let's see what else here. ISM 4 for 27. Well, ISM the wide receiver looked good. ISM the punt returner, not so much. More, it just seems like no one wants to win that job. And as we've said 17 million times, just because a guy is good at returning kicks doesn't mean he's good at returning punts. It's completely 2 completely different skill sets. And I don't know. Like there's probably a reason why ISM didn't return kicks at Iowa, and it isn't because Iowa just has a surplus of dynamic athletes like Amir Smith-Marset. Sort of is what it is. See some other winners. Madison looked good, but of course Madison is RB1 caliber playing against the Niners backups. Well, plus Kinlaw and Omenihu. Jonathan Bullard. I think Jonathan Bullard has really secured himself a spot as the Vikings' third 5-tech. So it goes Diesel Dalvin, goes Armand for Watts, it goes Jonathan Bullard. I think that he's really good setting the edge. I think he's good doing the dirty work, taking up bodies and allowing guys to scrape and make plays. So I think that he's going to make the roster. Former 3rd-round pick by the Bears coming out of Florida, starting to pay out on that potential. Caleb Evans. Oh, by the way, so props to Kwesi and the scouting department picking up T.Y. McGill and Jonathan Bullard, both for nothing guaranteed, league minimum deals, and they're 2 guys that could contribute this season. Tristan D, $5 in the super chat. The game is available in my area, so I'm forced to watch the Titans game. Rip. Tennessee Titans are going to be bad. They do have the hope for Malik Willis in the future, but this year, not so much. Caleb Evans has been phenomenal in run support. Also had a couple nice coverage plays. Let's see. A minute 39 left. Vikings up 7-3. T.Y. McGill with another pressure. He did it again. Wow. He's a machine. I love it. See Harrison Hand getting some run in with Booth out. Again, not getting all the wood. Looking for updates. There's no Javon touchdown. Sean Mannion. Slinging Sean Mannion. Getting it done, man. Ty Chandler. Yeah, we got to list Ty Chandler, right? Yeah, he's listed. Josh Metellus. So Metellus has had himself a really good first half. He had that breakup on third down when the Vikings brought some pressure. Also, he was in line for a really nice interception, but the last second, the Niners wide receiver sort of played defensive back on it. And Josh Metellus, he's a guy that I think is really solidly, obviously safety 4. We got Harrison and Beasley and Lewisine, but Metellus is really good on special teams, and he is good in that he is a do-it-all backup safety. He can play in the box, he can play free safety, he can play split, he can play cover 3, he can do a lot of things, right? So I do like Metellus as a backup. Winners, Vikings fans. Get after it. Where they've mentioned that the preseason crowd, it's super loud. Like, it's packed at historic U.S. Bank Stadium. I think that the fact that there's only one preseason game this year at home. McGill almost did it again. What the hell? Where's this guy? Where the hell did this guy come from? T.Y. McGill trying to be Tom Johnson 2.0, baby. But all that there was a super loud Sylvia Fowles led the skull chant. And, McGill! James McGill! It's McGill world. We're just living it. We're just paying rent. Love it. Oh, let's see if the Vikings give up points in the final 2 minutes. Jeffrey Say, $20 in Super Chat. Love the feed. Your next adult beverage is on me. Hey, thank you. By the way, if you ever see me in public, shot of Don Julio, preferably 1942, but you know, that's how we roll. Also, it's still really weird getting noticed in public, and what's even more weird is when someone, like when I'm in a public place that I'm talking, ordering at a restaurant or a bar or like the DMV or something like that, or the post office. I got one at the post office where this person, was filling out something for mail and whatnot. Now I was talking to the post office clerk, and they were like, "I recognize that voice." I'm like, "Shit! Oh, come on!" Ed Donatel with a nice homage to Zimmer's 2-minute defense. Come on, come on. You're lined up off sides, bro. You're in the ether. Freaking Troy Dye. Come on. You're getting torn up by Brock Purdy, the pride of Iowa State. Mr. Irrelevant. All right, 33 seconds left. See, Niners took a timeout, I assume. Second timeout of the first half. Probably. Let's see here. Any updates on Booth? Booth. Girl, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I love you. Let's see. Nothing on Booth so far. All right, so the Vikings ruled him out. But that's really about it so far. Didn't look good. Did not look good at all. But in a weird way, it's sort of like the picking the lesser of two evils. Like a non-contact injury, you're immediately thinking ACL, right? ACL, MCL, PCL, all the CLs, right? But the fact that it's been ruled an ankle injury versus a knee injury, that is positive. Also, it is positive that it doesn't seem related to his core muscle surgery because I believe he had double sports hernia surgery this offseason, one of the big reasons why he wasn't participating in offseason work. So that's positive. So just trying to take some positivity out here. So maybe it's just like a sprained ankle. Maybe it is something with ligaments. Who knows? But yeah, too early to speculate. But either way, knocking on all the wood. Hopefully he's going to be good to go. Should we bring up? What else bring up? Fortnite Pro 123, $2 in super chat. I have been watching. Why is Ed a loser? Oh, so we'll get into Ed Ingram here in a sec. Tristan D, $2 in super chat. King can actually return kicks. He was good last year. He will. He's the regular season kick returner. They just didn't put him out there because they want to see what the other guys can do. No, out. Yeah, out of bounds. All right, so Ed Ingram. Ed Ingram did not have a great game. He got worked by Kinlaw on that third down that ended up with the Kellerman sack. To a degree, it was partially on Kellerman too. He's taking a sweet-ass time back there. But Ed Ingram, if he wants to start, he's got to be able to handle things against a guy like Javon Kinlaw. Kinlaw is going to be a starter, former first-round pick, but Kinlaw's not a top 50 defensive interior player. And Ed Ingram has to hold his own in spots like that. Also, on that third down, the really nice slow screen to King Kene. Ingram was out in space, was really indecisive. Like, he just needs to take on a body. Harrison Hand. Woo! 38 special, baby. So hold on loosely. Don't let go. So caught up in you. All right, so if you're new to the channel, Harrison Hand, when he was a rookie, he was number 38. He's since changed to number 20. But when he was number 38, it was such a good nickname for him, 38 Special. It was a fantastic band, by the way. I'm so caught up in you. All right, they mercifully ran the clock out because there was 4 seconds left. Generally, field goals take 3 seconds. But they're just like, oh, we're running it. We're running it, man. Thanks, man. Thoughts on so far? All right, so we're going to run. Where were we? We'll run through winners and losers. Lewis Cine looked good. He hasn't dropped the hammer yet. I'm just waiting for one deep cleater across the middle, forearm shiver moment for Lewis Cine. Brian Asamoah, maybe we should move Brian Asamoah up. Actually, we're moving Brian Asamoah all the way up, man. All right, so Asamoah, he is a starter playing amongst number twos. Like, he looks phenomenal out there. He will be the heir apparent to Eric Kendricks and Jordan Hicks. But Asamoah, he's got great instincts. He flies around, makes plays. Now, could offensive coordinators take advantage of that? His over pursuit, possibly. Possibly get him to bite on play action or fakes or whatever. So he's got to learn to dial that back a bit. But when he just gets loose, he's got great instincts and just is a phenomenal athlete. Good in coverage, too. Would have got beat by one of the backup tight ends, except the tight end dropped it. Ha! Love to see it, man. Lewis C. and Ryan. All right, so Ryan Wright had a great punt. The first punt of the game down at the 7. Very good job by the coverage team as well. But I think that Wright, I don't think he has a chance to win because Jordan Berry looks good. Jordan Berry looked really good last year too. Plus the triumvirate of DePaulo snapping, Berry holding, and Joseph kicking. That's really good. Plus the 2 kicks that Joseph missed at joint practice on Thursday, I believe. Both of them were held by Ryan Wright. So maybe there's a correlation, maybe not. Patrick Jones, DJ One looked good in pressures. Jones also got half a sack. So the knock against Jones coming into the draft in 2021 was his run defense. Right? But I think that he really set the edge well on that one running play. So I think that if he wants to be a complete edge rusher, maybe potential future starter for the Vikings, I think you already got that. Andrew Booth Jr. So earlier, Andrew Booth Jr., before his unfortunate injury, like he drew a punch that got a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. So that's what Booth does. Like all the talking will eventually get to someone, and that might have been something that carried over from joint practices. I think it was number 17 for the Niners took a swing at him. Kellerman's first 3 throws, yes. The rest of it, Donatel, yes. Ty Chandler, even though he's not having like the big explosive runs like like me at Taco Bell, but him against the Raiders, he has looked pretty good. 5 of 19, got that touchdown. It's been a little bit of a tougher road to hoe, but the second team offensive line, they're going up against tougher competition with the Niners. Because, like we mentioned, they are playing a couple of their starters. Sean Mannion, I think, has looked good in terms of being a stabilizing force. Again, I understand it. I get why they want him to be the wide receiver, or the quarterback too. Wide receiver Tristan Jackson, one of our dark horses. I do like his game a lot. I think that he does need some polish, refining some of the route running, as well as could be a little bit better run blocker. Is what it is. Losers, punt returner ISM. Can't turf that one. Well, he returned one that should have been fair caught, and then he muffed, and then he fumbled. So it's not good. Kellerman passes 4 through 10. Except we'll see him. We'll see him in the second half. But yes, there was pressure. King Kenne's pass protection needs a little bit of refinement, but Kellen Mond could not throw that ball. Where it was late, it was off his back foot, and it had 0% chance of being completed. Absolutely none. Zach Davidson, his run blocking leaves something to be desired, but also he hasn't really been like an inline tight end ever at any point. And I think the Vikings had this issue with AC Leonard. They had it with Chase Ford. They had it with Bucky Hodges, Temujin, where they try to move these beautiful joker tight ends and put them in line and then have them block like Jim Kleinsasser. That's not their game. Like, can we just take Zach Davidson and Zach Muse and just fully buy into the fact that they're basically just tall receivers? I mean, can we just do that? Hey, Irv Smith at the airport, and you were good. I don't have the sound on, but they're flying to DC. Look like Irv and Harrison Phillips and whatnot. Anyways, rest of this. Let's see here. Project Success. It's a good name. All right, so Vikings got the lead, 7-6. Let's see, BC, Tristan Jackson look good. Defensively, I mean, T.Y. McGill's a man. He's just an absolute man. Bullard had himself a good first half. Troy Dye, respect. I think Troy Dye played pretty well in the first half. Metellus, we mentioned. Asamoah is just a stud. Let's see, Hairston's out there. Joseph kicking the PAT, but that's really about it. Hey, let us know where you're watching from and give a couple of shout outs here real quick. I'm actually going to wrap this up here in a few minutes because we want to get after the booth video. Let people know what's going on, because that just sucks. It just absolutely sucks, man. I hate it. Man, I'm looking for any updates. Let's see here. All right. A couple shout outs here. We got Maui. We got Melbourne. We got North Carolina. Come on, raise up. Hopefully a big Ty Chandler fan. Pennsylvania, California, Mexico, Buffalo, New York, Tampa, Springfield, Rick Springfield, Jesse's girl, Mankato, Sodak, Southwest Minneapolis in the house, Hermantown, Maryland. That's right. Riverside, mother. Shoreview, Yokohama, Japan. Long Beach, LBC, Jersey, baby. Yukon. All right, you guys are the best. Thanks for coming along. See what else here. Yeah. So this is the taking a peek behind the curtain, sort of working list of winners and losers. And it is weird to have this many winners and losers, but it's a preseason. It sort of is what it is. But I think overall, I mean, the first half was fine. I would have liked to have seen a little bit better continuity on that offensive front, but just sort of is what it is. I do like that Sean Mannion has sort of calmed them down, and then they just start getting back to just running the ball. They got after it. Kovac had a nice run. Chandler had a couple nice runs, including punching that one in for 6. So it is good in that regard. Let's see here. All right, so we're going to wrap up the halftime show here. We started a little bit early, as we're probably going to do, but I want to get after some of the Andrew Booth Jr. stuff, so we'll watch out for that, as well as stick around. Post-game show will be coming up. I'll leave the chat open if you guys just want to keep getting after it in a little bit, but you guys